The doorbell rang at 7:43 a.m., just as I was pouring cereal for my twins. Through the peephole, I saw a woman in a blazer holding a clipboard and an official badge. My heart dropped to my stomach. "Mrs. Hernandez, I'm from Child Protective Services. We received a report of neglect. I need to speak with you and see the children." My hands trembled as I opened the door. Behind the social worker, I spotted my mother-in-law Patricia's car parked across the street, barely hidden behind a neighbor's hedge. She was watching, waiting to see her handiwork unfold. The social worker stepped into better light, and I gasped. "Stephanie." Her professional mask slipped for a second. "Oh my God. Luna? Luna Rodriguez?" My college roommate, the girl who'd held my hair back during freshman year parties, who'd helped me study for anatomy finals, who'd been my maid of honor before we lost touch, now standing in my doorway with a CPS badge investigating me for child neglect. "I work nights," I said, my voice cracking. "I'm an ICU nurse. The babies need me, but apparently that makes me an unfit mother." Stephanie glanced back at Patricia's poorly hidden car, then at me. Her expression hardened, not against me, but with understanding. "Let's go inside," she said loudly, then quieter, "and document everything." Patricia Garcia Hernandez had hated me from the moment her son Diego brought me home. I wasn't Mexican enough. My father was Filipino. I wasn't traditional enough. I insisted on keeping my career. I wasn't submissive enough. I spoke my mind at family dinners. But when I gave her grandchildren, twin boys named after Diego's father and mine, I thought things would improve. Instead, they got worse. A mother should be home with her babies, she'd say every Sunday dinner, not working vampire hours, leaving them with strangers. The stranger was Diego himself 3 nights a week, and a licensed daycare the other 2. But Patricia believed fathers were babysitters and daycare was abandonment. The breaking point came last month. I'd been promoted to charge nurse in the NICU, a position I'd worked toward for 5 years. It meant better pay, better benefits, and yes, more night shifts. But it also meant we could afford the boys' college funds and therapy for Lucas's speech delay. Patricia exploded when she heard, "You're choosing career over family. My Diego deserves a real wife, not some ambitious girl playing nurse while her children suffer." "Playing nurse?" I'd responded. "I save premature babies' lives, Patricia. Last night, I helped a 24-weeker take her first breath." "What did you do?" She'd stormed out, but not before hissing, "You'll regret this." Now, standing in my kitchen with Stephanie, I understood what she'd meant. "The report claims severe neglect," Stephanie said, reading from her tablet. "Children left alone at night, unfed, living in squalor. Medical needs ignored." She looked around my spotless kitchen, where Mateo and Lucas sat eating breakfast in their clean pajamas. "I'm going to need to document everything." For the next 2 hours, Stephanie photographed every room. The fully stocked pantry, the boys' medical records showing every appointment kept, the color-coded schedule on the fridge showing Diego's nights, daycare hours, and my shifts, the baby monitor system that let Diego watch them from anywhere in the house. She interviewed Diego, who'd called in sick to work when I texted him. His fury was barely contained. "My mother did this." He showed Stephanie his phone, dozens of texts from Patricia calling me negligent, saying the boys were suffering. "She's been building a case," he said. I didn't think she'd actually. Stephanie interviewed the boys gently through play. 4-year-olds don't lie well. They told her about mommy's pancakes, daddy's bedtime stories, how mommy saves tiny babies at the hospital, how Grandma Patricia says mommy is bad, but they don't think so. "Grandma says mommy should stay home," Lucas whispered. "She says mommy doesn't love us enough." I had to leave the room. When Stephanie finished, she closed her tablet. "Luna, I need to speak frankly. This is a malicious false report. Everything here shows exemplary parenting. The house is clean, children are healthy and bonded, medical needs are exceeded, both parents are involved. But what your mother-in-law did, this is criminal." "Criminal?" "Filing a false CPS report is a crime. Using CPS as a weapon is abuse of the system. And what she told your children, that's parental alienation." She pulled out her personal phone. "Off the record, this is the most vindictive false report I've seen. On the record, I'm recommending immediate closure and flagging this as malicious." That's when Patricia made her mistake. She knocked on the door, playing concerned grandmother. I saw the CPS car, she said breathlessly. Is everything okay? Do the boys need to come with me? Stephanie and I exchanged glances. I nodded. Mrs. Garcia Hernandez, Stephanie said, I'm the assigned worker. Are you the reporting party? Patricia's face cycled through emotions: surprise, calculation, false concern. I don't know what you mean, but if someone reported concerns, it must have good reason. Luna does leave those babies alone at night. With their father, Diego said from behind me. My mother, you filed the report, didn't you? I did what any concerned grandmother would do. Patricia snapped, dropping her mask. Those children need a real mother, not some career woman who abandons them for work. Stephanie was recording everything on her phone. Ma'am, are you admitting to filing the report? Yes, someone had to protect those babies. Look at her, exhausted, working all night, probably taking pills to stay awake. Is that a mother? That's a nurse, Stephanie said coldly, saving lives, while you're attempting to destroy one. The next weeks were a whirlwind. Stephanie's report was devastating, not to me, but to Patricia. She documented everything: the false allegations, Patricia's admission, the attempted parental alienation, the psychological harm to the children. The district attorney's office pressed charges. Filing a false CPS report in Texas is a criminal offense. Patricia was arrested at her country club during Thursday Bridge. The mugshot made the local news. Grandmother charged with false CPS report and custody dispute. But the real consequences came from family court. Diego filed for a restraining order protecting me and the boys from Patricia. The judge, after reading Stephanie's report and hearing how Patricia had told our 4-year-olds that mommy doesn't love them, was furious. Mrs. Garcia Hernandez, the judge said, you weaponized a system designed to protect children in order to hurt your daughter-in-law. You traumatized your grandchildren with lies about their mother. You attempted to destroy a family because you disapprove of a woman having a career. Patricia tried to cry, but the judge wasn't moved. I'm granting the restraining order. No contact with the minor children for 1 year. After that, supervised visitation only, pending psychological evaluation. Any attempts to circumvent this order will result in immediate jail time. You can't keep me from my grandbabies, Patricia wailed. You kept yourself from them, the judge replied, by choosing control over love. The criminal trial was worse for her. Stephanie testified about the waste of resources, how Patricia's false report meant real cases waited longer for investigation. Other nurses from my unit testified about my dedication, how I'd never missed a shift without coverage, how I'd saved countless infants. The prosecutor played Patricia's voicemails to Diego. That wife of yours is destroying our family. If you won't leave her, I'll make sure she loses those children. A real Mexican wife would be home, not gallivanting at work while babies cry for their mother. Patricia got 6 months probation, 200 hours of community service, and $5,000 in fines. But the real punishment was social. Her church friends distanced themselves. The country club whispered. The extended family split. Team Patricia versus team she really did that. Diego struggled most. He loved his mother, but couldn't forgive what she tried to do. He started therapy, unpacking years of manipulation we hadn't fully recognized. She always made me feel guilty for helping with the boys, he admitted one session. Said real men don't change diapers. But I love bath time with them. I love being an involved dad. The boys went to therapy too. The therapist helped them understand that Grandma Patricia told lies because she was angry, not because Mommy was bad. Slowly, their questions about why Mommy worked stopped being tinged with Grandma's poison. Patricia tried everything to regain access. She sent letters through third parties, had relatives call begging for forgiveness, even hired a new lawyer claiming grandparent rights. Each attempt was documented and filed, strengthening our case. The breaking point for Diego came when Patricia ambushed him at work. She'd lost weight, looked haggard. I'm your mother, she cried. How can you choose that woman over me? You tried to have my children taken away, Diego said. You tried to destroy my wife, who saves babies' lives every night. You made my sons think their mother doesn't love them. You didn't give me a choice. You made it for me. She slapped him, in front of his coworkers. Security escorted her out, and Diego filed his own restraining order. Life settled into a new normal. I still work nights in the night queue. Last week, I saved twins born at 26 weeks. Their mother cried when I told her they'd likely survive. "You have kids," she asked. "How do you leave them to come here?" "Because someone was here when my boys needed it," I said. "And because my boys know that mommy helps babies and daddy takes great care of them when I do." The boys are thriving. Lucas's speech therapy is working wonderfully. Mateo wants to be a doctor like mommy, but for big people. They video call me on my dinner break, showing off artwork and telling stories. Diego became the dad he always wanted to be without his mother's judgment. He does braids, paints nails, bakes cookies. He joined the PTA. Other dads ask him for advice. He glows with pride when people call him an involved father instead of a babysitter. Stephanie and I rekindled our friendship. She comes for dinner monthly, always laughing about how we reunited. In all my CBS cases, she says, "I've never been so happy to close one as fast as yours." Patricia, we hear things through the grapevine. She moved to her sister's house in Houston. She tells people she has no grandchildren, easier than explaining why she can't see them. Her Christmas cards no longer include family photos. Sometimes I feel guilty. She's Diego's mother, the boy's grandmother. Shouldn't forgiveness be possible? Then I remember Lucas asking if mommy loved him enough. I remember her watching from her car as CPS knocked on my door, hoping to see my children taken away. I remember the venom in her voice. Playing nurse. Last month, I was nominated for Nurse of the Year. The ceremony was beautiful. Diego and the boys in the front row, my colleagues cheering. During my speech, I talked about balance, support, and the village it takes to raise children while saving others. Patricia wasn't there, of course. But her ghost lingered in the moment, the woman who tried to punish me for having dreams beyond her narrow vision of motherhood. The award sits on our mantel now, next to photos of the boys, my degree, and a new addition, a court document granting sole power over visitation decisions to Diego and me. "Mommy," Mateo asked recently, "why doesn't Grandma Patricia visit anymore?" I chose my words carefully. Sometimes people make big mistakes that hurt others. Grandma made a mistake that hurt our family. Maybe someday she'll understand and apologize. Will you forgive her if she does? I looked at Diego. We've discussed this endlessly. Could we forgive? Should we? Forgiveness is complicated, baby, I said. But protecting you and Lucas comes first. Always. He accepted that with 4-year-old wisdom and went back to playing. The truth is, Patricia gave me an unexpected gift. By trying to prove I was a bad mother, she proved the opposite. The investigation showcased our strong family, Diego's involvement, my dedication to both career and children. Her false report became evidence of our success. But more than that, she freed us from her toxic influence. No more Sunday dinners with subtle insults. No more guilt trips about working mothers. No more poisoning my children against their mother's ambitions. I still work nights. I still save babies. And I still come home to 2 boys who know mommy loves them to the moon and back. Whether she's making pancakes or intubating preemies. Patricia wanted a traditional daughter-in-law who'd abandon her career for motherhood. Instead, she lost her son and grandchildren to a woman who refused to choose between her calling and her family. Sometimes the greatest revenge isn't anger or retaliation. Sometimes it's simply living well, loving fully, and refusing to shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations. My boys will grow up knowing their mother saves lives and their father nurtures souls. They'll understand that love isn't measured in traditional roles but in showing up, whether that's for a 2 a.m. feeding or a critically ill newborn who needs expert hands. Patricia thought she could break me by weaponizing the system meant to protect children. Instead, she broke herself against the unshakable truth. I am a good mother. Not despite my career, not in spite of working nights, but because I show my sons every day that women can be anything, including mothers who work miracles in the darkness while their babies sleep safe in their father's arms. That's the legacy Patricia tried to destroy. And that's the legacy that survived her,